Hey, Shalawam Makim. I want to start firstly by giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this word, I should say. And Shalawam to the elect throughout the four corners of the earth, man, because that's who these shows are for. We got an interesting topic to go into. It's actually a book I've been reading that goes into
I'm going to order for you real quick.
the West, dealing with so-called Negroes and so-called Indians. It's called Black, Red, and Deadly, and the author is what's this guy's name? Art Burton. Okay, and it's a very, very good read. Okay, it deals with the history of gunslingers and whiskey peddlers. Real cowboys, the real cowboys of the Indian territories. I'm talking like Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and them places, man. Okay. Now we're gonna go into it. Then we're gonna go into the scriptures, Lord willing, for the edification of the elect,
right.
Because this history links right up with the scriptures,
right? And
it's bad as hell,
right? So again, the book, you can find it on Amazon. It's called Black, Red, and Deadly, and the author's name is Art Burton's, right? This is the book. On page 2, it says this: among the Seminoles.
Yeah, the Seminoles are the tribe of Reuben. Reuben, see, it's a son. Okay, that's you Seminole Indians, man. Which you are the eldest son of Jacob. Okay, you the firstborn. Okay, good.
It says, among the Seminoles, blacks were immediately liberated and 6 were elected to the 42-seat Seminole Council.
Right, because as we well know, so-called Negroes were enslaved here by the so-called white race, as well as natives were enslaved by the so-called white race. But in the fighting for freedom and in the fleeing for freedom, I should say, they found a safe haven among the Seminoles, man, which is the tribe of Reuben. Okay? So the prophecy of Reuben having the excellency of dignity did not fail. Because why? Because he didn't enslave the so-called Negroes as other tribes did, man. Okay? Yeah. The so-called Seminole Indians are the tribe of Reuben. Yeah. Okay?
Let me get that real quick.
Yeah.
In the book of, this is Romans 8 verse 16. It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit. Right,
the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit. In other words, the Seminoles and the so-called Negroes had something in common, man. They had the same spirit, the spirit of an Israelite, man. Okay? Compassion one towards another. Yeah. All right?
It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Right, so that we are the children of the Most High. Because this thing is a tribal thing as well, man. There's different tribes, man. It's not just a so-called black thing. Just because you see two so-called black men here, all right, teaching this word, doesn't mean it's a so-called black thing. This is a nation thing. This is a nationwide thing, man. All right, dealing with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. And in this instance in history, the tribe of Reuben showed that the prophecy was true, having the excellency of dignity. Good?
Yep, this is the book of Genesis, the 49th chapter, and I'll start at verse 1. But the point regarding Reuben is in verse 3.
Right.
It says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Yeah, because Jacob was well up in age, okay, well up in age and years, and pretty much gonna pass on real soon into the spiritual world, man. So this is his last will, testament unto his sons, man. See, he didn't call his daughters unto him because he did have daughters too.
Yeah, Dinah.
Yeah, Dinah, okay? A lot of cats don't even know. A lot of cats don't even remember that, man. Good?
Yeah, reading on, it says, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Verse 3, Reuben, thou art my firstborn.
There you go, he telling them. He told the firstborn first. Okay? Reuben, thou art my firstborn. That's the Seminoles, man. You so-called Seminoles down there in Florida, okay? Can't grow a beard. No hair on your arms, no hair on your legs. All right? Well, there's also a prophecy saying that I am a smooth man, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 25.
You know?
Yep, Genesis 25.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good.
It says, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob. Hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength.
Right, because guess what? Reuben, the tribe of Reuben, that's a warrior tribe. That's a warrior tribe. You had Reuben, Gad, the half tribe of Manasseh. Why you think the Manassites are those Cubans, man? Why you think Cuban boxing is so heavy, man? All right? Reuben and Gad are forever known for their great skills in war. Okay? Good.
And the beginning of my strength, and the excellency of my dignity.
And the excellency of my dignity, man. This is why Reuben did not enslave the so-called Negroes, man. Because why? Because that's his brethren, man. That's his kindred, man. Okay? Prior to us losing our nationality and our customs on a whole, we knew who the hell we were, man. Okay, when we first came over here, the 10 tribes, when they first came up over here, because the other tribes are pretty much back in on the other side of the world, you know? You see what I'm saying? They came over here, they started to put things together, man. And they had that history, but it only takes one generation to lose it.
Right, yeah.
Then the next generation, they might try to keep a little something, but they ended up losing a little more. Yeah. Every generation loses a little more until everything is gone.
Yeah. That's that curse in Jeremiah 17, verse 4.
Thou shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Exactly. All right? But the excellency of dignity, it was a spiritual thing. It wasn't, Reuben didn't know, oh shit, that's the tribe of Judah. That's the tribe of Benjamin. That's the tribe of Levi. He didn't know that shit.
Spirit.
It was a spirit. It was a spirit because everything is spiritual, man. Go ahead.
Yep, it says the beginning of my strength, the excellency of my dignity, and the excellency of my power.
And the excellency of his power. Continue.
It says unstable as water.
Unstable as water. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. Let me read it again. Verse 4. Unstable as water, thou shalt not.
That's why they were known as pretty much hunter-gatherers, man. Like a nomad. All right? Also because they was keeping the law where you would have to give the land a Sabbath, man. Okay, which Esau don't apply. Continue.
Thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch.
Right, because he slept with his concubine pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, but that was it on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got another precept for you.
Yeah, but let's go. Let's read a little more on that book.
Okay, from the book.
Yeah, let's read a little more from the book.
Okay. So this is back in this book on page 2. It says, well, I read from this paragraph down here. It says, among Creeks, Seminoles, and Cherokees, black people made economic strides they could rarely duplicate in U.S. society. African Cherokees owned barbershops, blacksmith shops, general stores, and restaurants.
In other words, they integrated amongst each other, man. Amongst the Creeks, the Cherokees, and the Seminoles, man. All right? Which that really all started to change after a while, because then they started to grow hatred for the so-called Negroid Indian, man. All right? But they were definitely integrated. You had Indians with black wives. You had blacks with Indian wives, man. Okay? Good.
It says some had become printers, ferry boat operators, cotton gin managers, teachers, and postmasters.
Exactly. So they were making economic strides. And this is how Black Wall Street came about, man. In Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's fucking Indian territory, that place, man. That's how that came about. Okay. Good.
I read up. It says by 1870, there were 5 black towns in Indian Territory. The towns established were Tallahassee in 1850, North Fork Colored, Arkansas Colored, and Canadian in 1869. That's pretty much the point there.
Yeah. So pretty much Jake lived amongst the Seminole Indians and even other different native tribes in peace, man, for many years. Because why? Because the excellency of dignity the Heavenly Father instilled upon Reuben. And Reuben never lost that, man. All right? And that was the prophecy. Okay, so that was it on the book, all right, which is other different facts and history you can get from the book, but we're just going to get into the scriptures now and conclude the show due to the interest of time.
Right. So we're going to close out with Amos chapter 9, and the point is in verse 11.
Right.
It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Right, and the tabernacle of David that is fallen is the 144,000, man, the elect. The election has fallen, man, but now we are rising through the word, man, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, we coming together, all right? And you got brothers from every different perspective tribe coming together. The scriptures tell you in Revelation, the 7th chapter, 12,000 out of each tribe, man. And we're not every brother is necessarily what tribe you may think he is, man. You may think you a Judite, and you may not be, man. Okay? Let me tell you something about you. Let me tell you something about Brazil. A lot of y'all Brazilians out there, you think, oh, I'm Portuguese, I'm Brazilian, this, that, and the other. Look, man, you know how many so-called Judites, or Judites, I should say, so-called African Americans. I'm talking about Judites, Benjamites, Levites went down there into Brazil. And you out there thinking you fucking the tribe of Asher, and you a goddamn Judite, man. You a Judite.
Yeah.
Or you might be a Benjamite or a Levite. You could be Issachar. Who the hell knows, man? Okay? So
I got something real
the
quick.
Lord is going to straighten all that out real soon. And the tribes are going to come back together, dealing with the house of David through the elect firstly, and then the whole nation is going to come back together.
Yeah.
Get out.
Revelation 11 verse 11.
Yeah.
And after 3 days and a half.
Yeah, 3 days and a half is really going to 350 years. 1620 to 1970, man. All right? All throughout that time. Because what we reading about right now in that book, that's dealing with the latter 1800s, man. The motherfucker, 1620, that's when the boats came over here to America, man. And more slaves went down there into Brazil. Brazil is bigger than America. South America is bigger than America. Okay?
It reads on to say, the spirit of life from the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Exactly, man. The spirit from the Most High entered into them. What's that talking about? This truth. And that's when Abba Bivens was heavy teaching the word, man.
Yeah.
He was heavy teaching this word, man. What the fuck? What's this guy doing, man? What the hell is this guy doing? Oh, officer. Hold on a sec.
Can't, I
Keep
got you,
teaching,
bro.
keep teaching.
Yeah. So we're going to go back to the book of Amos chapter 9 verse 11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David, which is the house of David, which when you go and do the history, you know, concerning the scriptures, and you read about the tribes and concerning them, the house of David, it included the 12 tribes of Israel collectively, man, from Judah all the way down into Issachar, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. That's the tabernacle of David right there. Before, you know, we split as a kingdom, you know, the kingdom of Israel representing you so-called Latinos and Native Americans, which would be the northern kingdom. And then you had the southern kingdom of Israel, right, which consists of so-called Negroes, Haitians today, and West Indians, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all right? So in the time of David, that's when we was collectively together.
Yeah,
It
David,
says-
Solomon.
Right. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Yeah, that is fallen, man, because after David went on and Solomon went on, guess what? The tribes pretty much split apart, man. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was after David went on, pretty much you had Jeroboam and Rehoboam, which this is history. When you go into the book of Kings, and they had a big quarrel pretty much, and they was hating on the son of Solomon, which was which was Rehoboam, okay, and they split. Then you had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, man. Was to put things in proper perspective, you even had certain Jakes that actually came back, certain of the northern tribes that actually came back to deal with Solomon, man, because they recognized him as the true king of Israel, man. I'm sorry, Jeroboam, man. When you go into the history.
Yeah.
All right.
So it says, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
That's right. I'm sorry, that was a slip of the tongue. They came back during the time of Solomon, not during the time of Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Okay, because at that time they had already split. You know? Okay, so that was it on that? All right. Hey, man, so look, Abaratazah, this video is edifying to you, brothers. Look out for maybe part 2.
Yeah.
And I get deeper into the book because it's a damn good read. Hey, Lord, will you brothers are edified, man. All right, Shalawam. We're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalawam to the elect.